All right, 5 o'clock on a Monday. You know what time it is. Time to hit the books, part of the Hammer Betting Network, sponsored by FanDuel, alongside the man, the myth, the legend himself, Joey Knish. I'm merely Brad Powers. New producer. I don't think he's earned the trust to get a name yet, so we won't mention him yet. If he earns enough here, then we'll mention him. But long time, no talk as far as me and Knish, at least publicly. Long time that we haven't seen you guys. It's been a couple months since we did a couple of those 5-10 minute buy or sell type of things, 4 or 5 of those videos. But other than that, it's been since the national championship game, almost 3 months ago. What's up, man? How you been? I know you've been busy because you're doing extra shows for Hammer. Circle back too. How's that going?
No, it's I've been enjoying that. So been in the gossip world for a minute, but feels good just as we start getting back into the spring game vibes, which I know I got to talk to you about. But you know what? It's right about that time now. Usually the April, May, where you can start feeling it. And then as we really ramp up, you get a little closer to July, August, and fall camp, and then it goes. But I will say, today's college football, for whatever you think of the portal and all that stuff, it has really helped the game change to a year-round cycle, like an NFL news cycle where something's always happening. You don't have these kind of dry months or dry periods here where you're wondering like, well, what's I already know the roster, I already know this. Might have some. That's all out the window now, baby. So, you've got portal opens up here a couple of, and we'll have some sea change. We've already got some sea change. So, if nothing else, it's great content. I got to say that. It might be a little frustrating, but it's good for shows like this.
No shortage of content when it comes to college football or the gambling industry in the last couple months, to say the least. But obviously we'll talk
on the spaces. It's 11 p.m. I haven't seen you on the spaces threatening to fight somebody. So
that's not my demo. I'm too old for that. Although I see some older people in there.
Yeah, that's
forget
true.
11. I've seen some people in there at 2:30 Eastern time. Guys that have wife and kids are talking with the 20-year-olds. I don't know. I think I've downgraded their power rating. I'm in there. Boy, to show you, we got a new producer. He just now emailed me the ad copy, our new shitty producer. But it might be the off season. And keep in mind, we are sponsored by FanDuel. It might be the off season, but if you want to bet on college football futures, FanDuel is the place to go. And I'll admit, it is a place to go as far as, we got over-under win totals, all of them as far as the Power 5. And they've had them all up for months now, believe it or not. I've made a few bets, and we'll maybe get into one or two. I won't give you the whole the whole kit and caboodle, but we'll talk some win totals here. National championship odds are out. I just made a Heisman bet today. We can maybe talk about that. Got some week 1 lines out already. I've made a bet or two there. So much more. If you're looking to bet college football right now, FanDuel is your one-stop shop. And right now you can, if you're a new customer, get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. Just place any $5 bet, and you'll get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. What you need to do is visit FanDuel.com/hitthebooks. That's FanDuel.com/hitthebooks to download America's #1 sportsbook. That's FanDuel.com/hitthebooks. Disclaimer, you must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas in affiliation with the Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in D.C. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as a non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit FanDuel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut, or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelpline.ma.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE New York or text HOPE New York in New York. Wow. It's been the off season. I thought I did okay there.
I was going to say, still got, hey, like riding a bike, baby, right back on the ad read and just spitting it out like fire there. I will say, and not just because they're sponsoring the show, but probably part of the reason why they do sponsor the show is they're the FanDuel now sets the market and got all of the all-season college football stuff. So, and you know what? I will say they take a decent bet on this stuff, and they're the first one. Hey, it's a lot of people talk. It's not, if you're going to post numbers first, hey, I got to respect it. So that's, and you used to have, like, they're going up, as you said, early with a lot of them. And people, I mean, most, they're like still the only one that like months into this now where they posted stuff. And, you know, everyone else seems to be slowly lagging behind. So credit to them.
Absolutely. Credit for you and I for doing this show, I will say. The first underdog has cashed already of the season. For us to be doing the show without a new contract, that underdog,
yeah,
that
that's,
cashes.
you know,
So
hashtag circle back. Some off-season negotiations were going on, and we expect to have a new deal for the fall. And if not, Moretto will. Here's what's going to happen. And I already told Pizza Man this. There's either a new deal for Hit the Books, or you're going to be looking for a new director of content. It's either I'm going to walk into the office in Toronto and say it's me or Moretto. You take your pick. And I know it ain't Moretto. So I know he's got a young kid in that. Hopefully he likes, you know, waiting tables or whatever he did before this, because he can't direct content for shit. So that's what it's going to be, baby. Me or him, take your pick. I hate to do it to him, but the you know what? Sometimes you gotta brass balls on the table.
love it. Although I will say in this offseason, I think Knish has been more the team player than old BP. So if something doesn't happen, the blame will be on me. I'll tell you, do you have any thoughts on the Nico situation before we get to the chat, the real stars of the show? Boy, that happened here obviously last week.
Yeah, let's do a few minutes on it. I mean, how much? Because this seems to go back now. If you believe some of the reports that are out there from the CBS guys, the Josh Payton, that he was like threatening to sit out the playoff game, and then they were able to work something out, and it was like apparently his dad's absolutely nuts. So that's number one, which is nothing new for college sports. But now that, like, you know, it used to be if your dad was crazy, you might transfer, you know, you might slide something under the table. Now it's like, oh, well, now I want $4 million instead of $2 million. I will say, in terms of this, it's kind of like, you know, this year after you, if you get yourself in this situation where from a business standpoint, without multi-year deals or anything actually, you know, contractual, the sport, I don't know how to fix it. I guess that's where I'm getting to is coming down is like, I don't know. And I asked Flup this on Circle Back what his idea was, or I haven't heard a real concrete idea or any like format from people of like, how am I going to get? Okay, I'm going to sign Nico. He's going to come to Tennessee. I'm going to sign him 2 years, $8 million, whatever it is, 2 years, $4 million. And then I don't have to worry about this BS for a playoff game or for a spring practice or for a fall camp. That's where the sport needs to go. And I don't know how we get there.
I don't know either. I mean, I guess it needs to be, you should know this. You'd like this. There needs to be more rules and regulations. So, I mean, Joey Lib would be all about that. So
well, I think like this is the part of it. And but this is, you let us get these two guys get on a soapbox too much. We'll take up the whole show, but like the NCAA fighting this for so long, eventually the dam broke and now they just lose every case. Some of it was financially, they were like, they couldn't afford the constant lawsuits. And now they just lose every case. So even if when they tried to do you could only transfer once, boom, within a month, it was in court, it was over. And so now it's like, what does the NCAA have in terms of like framework or legality to hold these people? And it's probably nothing. So I don't know how it gets solved. But I
think it may make stuff, I mean, be very forefront like you and I are. Hey, publish the contracts. So we know who's in the wrong. Yeah. So
I know, like, to me, if I'm Tennessee, I would have the collective and I would say it's exactly what he got. This is what we brought, or I'd leak it to, you know, one of these college family or something. So here's what he got. Here's what the contract was. Here's what he passed up and left. Where do you think, because it seems to me, I don't know if he might have had some whispers. I don't think he has this like mega deal on the table.
No.
Where do you think he's going?
I mean, the rumors are North Carolina, UCLA. I don't think a lot of people are willing to pay $4 million.
I don't think so either.
For him.
He's not a $4 million quarterback. I mean, there's only a handful of those guys in that realm in the sport. Like sometimes these NIL values, I think, like get thrown around. You might have had Cam Ward last year making, kind of around that number. You might have had Quinn Ewers or something like Will Howard, maybe not a little step down. You might have Bryce Underwood, kind of in that now this year, making somewhere in that. But to me, if I'm selling out $4 million, you better be either a superstar or that. And he's kind of like, I'm not going to say replacement level, but I think Tennessee could go in
like a replacement level quarterback last year.
Yeah, I think Tennessee.
I applaud Tennessee for the quick decision. You're out, buddy.
Agreed.
So the actionable. I mean, come on. If you're not when the news breaks and you're not betting Tennessee under 9.5 wins, I mean, this isn't for you. I mean, I did make that bet. But I will say this: I'm not opposed to if I like what I'm hearing from Tennessee, they go out and get somebody because we do think he's replacement level. I'm not opposed to turn right around and betting Tennessee over 8.5 wins. I can tell you that might end up being in pocket and actually have a bigger bet on that because those types of guys in the locker room.
I agree.
It's sometimes almost addition by subtraction. So I applaud Tennessee for making a quick decision and saying you're out. So, and I don't think he's got a big market for paying him $4 million.
I had heard, the first thing that I'd heard was UCLA, but
they got the money.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I think. How many programs right now in the spring either don't have a set quarterback and have that kind of deep pockets to pay somebody what he's looking for? That's not up to me. That's not a long list of teams in the sport. And that, especially for not a game changer. I mean, is this guy going to come in and save your season or any of that? So
he didn't play like it last year. Obviously, we thought he was capable of it, but just never lived up to it in a quarterback-friendly offensive system. I might add.
I know.
So, good on Tennessee and Heupel for making a quick decision. We'll see as that story unfolds here in the next couple of weeks. I don't know. I don't know yet. It'll depend on the new contract how many of these shows we'll do. But it's good talking to you. I can be honest with you, and also good talking to the chat. And I see they're loaded up here. Teek's in the chat. BP, are you officially back in on the Freeman era? I was in the middle of last season, so totally back in there. Went to that spring game on Saturday.
Yeah, what'd you think? What'd you think of the overall?
I think they look pretty good. And I'm me, I'm Mr. Negative when it comes to Notre Dame. I'm pretty confident. No, I mean 10.5's out there. Even our friends at FanDuel, I lean under because the schedule is tricky. There's just a lot of teams that can beat them. And when you lose Northern Illinois, I guess anybody can beat you and Marshall. But I mean, I start with Miami, A&M. Those are their two toughest games in the first 2 weeks of the season. I mean, at Arkansas is tricky. Boise State, USC, NC State's. The back half's pretty manageable. So I mean, if they start 2-0, I mean, you can mark down almost in Sharpie a home playoff game. But I think they're going to start a young quarterback. I think they're going to end up going with my boy. So
I know.
You saw a little bit. I'm Mr. Positive on him. What do you think about that?
Yeah,
you got a couple of NFL throws.
Little bit of spark there. It seems like not only Freeman, but like Notre Dame as a program seems to be really, I'll call it aligned. Like they have their NIL situation right. They're kind of they're getting the guys they want in the portal before a lot of times before it even opens up. They kind of have this right strategy. So it seems like the roster management and Freeman and the staff and like for the first time for like better than anybody, for like 30 years it was kind of you had your boosters here, you had your other people here. It was like we're living off this dated reputation of old glory, and it's kind of like now I would say the only concern would be how long can you does an NFL team come calling sooner or later for Marcus Freeman? And I don't know. I know he's young, but that would be like, to me, I think you've got a premier coach in the sport. There's not 5 guys, 5 or 10 coaches, I think that I'd want more than Freeman currently in the sports right now. So yeah, I think they're kind of going to be right where they're at. They're going to be a year in, year out for as long as he's around.
Wow. Holy shit. You impressed me. Yeah, well said. I would agree with everything you said there. For about 30 years, I thought they were as mismanaged as any program in the country. Now everything's aligned, whether it's, the NIL, the new athletic director, Freeman, the coaching staff. And they're buttoned up where
Yep.
there's not a lot of drama. I think they
Yep.
are paying. I think they're up there very quietly paying people. You've seen that the last 2 times they went out and got a quarterback. It was like open and shut case. They went out, got Hartman, went out and got Riley Leonard and paid him. There wasn't much drama there. So, yeah, I'm as happy as I've been as a fan in 30 years. I think the team as deep as can be. If CJ Carr lives up to some of the expectations, I think they're going to be right in the mix as far as a playoff team. Doesn't mean that they'll always be there. I think as long as Freeman's there, I think they're going to be a contender. They proved it last year. And it's not like, I know last year was kind of a dream season, but I mean, they were banged up. It's not like it was all the stars aligned. I mentioned this last time I talked to you publicly. It's kind of like the Lions. Okay, the Lions had an historic season, but I mean, they were also historically injured. It could have been better.
Yeah.
I think it was similar in that regard. But yeah, I'm pretty confident. We'll see once they name the quarterback. But the team, what I saw on Saturday, it's as deep as they've been in 30 years, as talented as they've been in 30 years. There's not a lot of question marks. So, but with that being said, under 10.5. Under 10.5. Although I made you bet over 9.5. So I think it's a 10-2 team.
Yeah, I would agree. It's in that. It's right. It's in that ballpark of. I think they're probably. 10 wins, you're going to the playoff again. I'd
have the yes in the playoffs a favorite. Let's keep it rolling on the chat. Brendan, glad to be back, fellas. Took some Stanford under 3.5 plus 115 on the news.
This is our boy, the Troy Taylor funeral. I really, just as you thought he might have had some pulse there, but it ended abruptly. What did you make?
I originally bet over 3.5, so that's my worst bet that I made. I made about 50 bets already, believe it or not. That's my worst one. I took over 3.5. Haven't bet it back yet though. I got to see how their portal. Because actually, do you like Frank Reich? I mean, I don't think it's terrible. Do you?
I would agree with you. In a pinch. Like, to me, that's probably like Andrew Luck there, kind of like, I know they were boys, and it's like, hey, this I need this season not to go off the rails here. So I agree. I thought Frank Reich, in terms of the situation they were in, wasn't too bad a hire. I agree with I liked that play early on of like, I thought Troy Taylor this year, Stanford, maybe bowl, maybe 5.
Yeah, I agree.
Bowl season would have been a stretch, but I
they
guess
lost a lot. They lost Bailey at the edge. They lost like Mosley, a wide receiver. I mean, eventually, I think I'll be betting back. I don't know. I don't want to be betting a lot of those already.
Yeah. What did you make? I guess I don't. This was a little bit gray area in terms of just like there wasn't it was just like he belittled some people in the program. His overall behavior. I don't know. Like. This one is. They had some internal investigation.
What state is Stanford in?
Yeah, I will say this. I don't think at most programs in the country, these were fireable actions. I think he kind of got Stanfordized here. I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to sound like, but like being mean to people was like, what was this? Like, I didn't see much in this that came out that said like, we have to fire this coach unless things were way worse internally than what we thought. I mean, they actually kind of, I don't know. I thought they played some competitive football down the stretch last year.
They did. They beat Louisville.
Yeah.
Although they lost to San Jose State with the win total on the line. I was pissed.
That is true.
Remember that? Oh, that was rough. I don't. From what I read, I wouldn't have fired him, but there might be some other things. I don't know. And I will say also different. It seems like Andrew Luck is in charge, not the head coach. I think at some universities, the GM, he speaks to the head coach as his boss. In this case, I think Luck is the boss. So who knows? Everything's on the table in college football right now.
Yeah, I will agree. This is like right where now it's like Luck's almost like you're in the NFL terms. He's like your president of the organization.
Yeah,
head coach rolls up to even the AD is probably like asking, reporting to Luck. So. I don't know. It's a wild time depending on what school you are.
Got a super chat already from our best
boy,
our buddy. I mean, by far our best guy, Sean Higgs, $153. Where is there a reason? 153. A buck for all who are watching and 22 likes. Get them likes and subscribes.
Oh,
going.
yeah, he's
Come
doing
on.
our producer's job here. Shawnee, we should be paying you to produce the show here.
Yeah, I know.
trying to
Well,
put
we
it out.
might. I mean, the producer can't even get me the ad read before the show.
So,
So
yeah.
Sean even also says, love the fresh shaved Knish.
Oh, yeah, you know what? Little,
I'm not. I look like I woke, I walked from South Bend.
yeah, yeah, Joey Corporate here had to, trying to keep it clean and cut.
Once again, we really appreciate you, Sean.
For sure.
$153.
Thank you.
Big time. Maybe that'll help, maybe getting our new producer. We do miss the old guy already. Charles in the chat. Huge welcome back. Knew the show had to be coming back soon. BP in need of some more money after throwing the NIL money to Drew Pyne for Bowling Green.
I was literally like cackling out loud when I saw that notification that he was going there.
It's funny because I talked literally like a week before it happened. I told my dad, I was like, watch, Pyne will be going to Bowling Green. They do need a quarterback I could throw.
Here's like, it's all contextual, right? In terms of like him as a MAC QB,
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it. I mean,
so he comes from a very rich family, and I don't know if there's deals behind. So maybe the family's, donating towards the overall team. So it could be that. I mean, by a very rich family, I'm talking like 8-9 figure family. So there could be some of that. I can't believe he has 2 years of eligibility.
I cannot believe that either. I would have, like, if you would ask me like over 1.5, I would have said like under for like minus 500. I cannot believe he got 2 years left. What else with the BG?
I do like the Eddie George hire, because we hadn't even talked since that broke. I do like it. Do I think it'll work out for this year? Probably not. I'll probably be a little pessimistic for this year. It's so late in the process. I was already kind of down on them for what they lost.
Team, the talent they lost, like that. I mean, that's hard to replace. You don't exactly have the NIL cost. You're only paying the coach like a couple $100,000 a year. There's quarterbacks in every Power 4 conference program make more than your coaching staff. So, I think it's going to be hard to replenish this year for BG. But I agree, Eddie George got a little, and those Ohio. That's, to me, if you're BG, you got to get that like mid-level Ohio kid coming out of school, recruit that, and he he proved some chops at the FCS level, and just probably have a little transition year here.
Yeah, I thought he did a good job. He built Tennessee State like old school. They got better each year through 4 years. Their best team was his last team. I was very impressed with how they played at Montana in the playoffs. I thought they'd get destroyed in the game, and they didn't. And I know you're going to say 41-27. I think Montana scored 2 punt return touchdowns in that game, so they played well. So thumbs up. Love the hire. You got to get a name. You got to raise money. That and name recognition. And they were a story of college football for a couple of days for that hire. So good. Onion Man, welcome back, fellas. Any draft props? Let's get into this.
Yeah,
Onion Man's not going to like this.
His only great tweet in the last 36 months.
Yeah. Fez, I have not really. This is the least amount I've ever bet on the draft, at least the last 7-8 years. I don't have much interest because they don't have much interest, all the sports books, in taking a bet. So what have you done? You're more in tune with the draft.
No, I mean, even our boy, the Hitman, I was talking with him the other week. It's tough sledding out there and you have like, one book opens up, people hit it, real big. And it's kind of like one of those now, there's no low key or any of those more, but like, it's not like hidden under anything pops up and people are all over it. And it's going out in Discords and, Established will run and all those places are going out. And it's like the worst thing. And I don't want to go into it, but like, if you have any type of, app account, online clean account, and you're betting NFL draft openers, it's like the biggest red flag of all red flags. So yeah, I agree with you. I think it's, I'm not saying you can't, still depends what level you're at. If you really want to grind it and stuff like, it's just, I agree. I have almost nothing in terms of liquidity so far. So maybe once we get a little closer, we'll see what kind of comes out there, what's able to bet. But right now in the process, even some folks at maybe a 3-letter service are like, giving out draft plays at, for the current. I saw there was a churn video. He's talking about draft.
Oh yeah, he's giving out a lot of draft stuff. His stuff. Oof.
I mean,
I'm not going to criticize. I'm like too old. I'm not getting into fights.
Yeah,
anymore.
and listen,
But
I mean, these are people that
anybody
we
can
met
do whatever
early
they
in college
want.
football.
I got to tell you the story, and I think I've said this before. The one that got me soured on the draft was a couple years ago. I think it was Aiden Hutchinson's draft. There was news leaking that he was going to go. What did he end up going? First or second?
You went second to the Lions because
second.
first was what is it? Trey, the Jaguars defensive end.
Yeah. I know. So that was breaking on Monday, the week of the draft, and it was breaking East Coast, and I was pulling old Fez, South Point, betting 5 a.m. I'm down there at the kiosk. I'm just trying to bet $100 at a time. Got only a couple of bets in. They took down the whole prop market, not just that individual prop market dealing with Hutchinson. They took down all the draft props, never put them back up. And I'm like, why am I even bothering? Why am I waking up in the morning dealing with this? It was awesome for a lot of years, especially 2020 and 2021.
The COVID years were like,
the COVID years were unbelievable. 22, it got less and less and less, and now it's just
I'm not going to say it's cooked. I mean, it depends what your expectation is, what you want. But for the big scores, it's tough.
I thought the best thing you said, and you've been on today. Let me tell you. I mean, you've had a lot more practice than me this offseason. I can tell between the circles back and the spaces and all that. But you saying that it's a red flag to get a limited for not much either. I mean, the new guys understand that. I mean, okay, yeah, it's beatable, but at what cost? I mean,
if you have a new app account on any of them, you make a few draft bets starting out. The likelihood is your stake factored real quick. So, and I got a Joey Pucks for you. Let me make sure. Actually, this is, you want to do it now or you want to?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. This is at our friends. I'll actually do at our friends at FanDuel. They've got one of the better prices here. NHL series price. So it's obviously to win first round series in the West. We're going Avs -115 over the Stars at our friends at FanDuel. There's even some 120 out there elsewhere. That's good too. I think FanDuel has one of the better prices.
There he goes. Man, the new guy is just
new guy. He's on it, baby. Avs, Stars. I will say with pretty good confidence that I think that closes well. So if you're able to get some 115, 120, I think that's worth a bet.
All right, Joey Pucks with the best bet. Let's get back to the chat. Looking here. Austin M. I've only made one bet so far, and that's Texas Tech 10-1 to win the Big 12 a couple weeks ago. Thoughts on that? I have made that bet. Not 10-1. I think it was actually a little bit higher. This is a team that's gone all in. I mean, depending on what service you're looking at, maybe the best transfer portal class. I'm still worried that they spent all this money and they don't have a quarterback, or at least a healthy one. Baron Morton's okay, but he can't stay healthy. But man, they are loaded at every other position. I know Notre Dame wanted their GM, didn't get him. They got the billionaire, the former offensive lineman, what's his name, Cody something.
Yeah,
money. They took Bailey from Stanford. But it's a very winnable league. We saw Arizona State last year rise up. It was 100-1 and win the conference. BYU came out of nowhere and was in the mix. That's the conference. Texas Tech and Utah are the two futures I made in that one as far as bets.
Yeah, you're a friend of the show franchise. Love that one too. So played some. I don't even honestly. It was like, because these have been out for a couple months now. I got to check the tickets to see even what number I got on that. But I agree. I think anything, obviously FanDuel now is at like 550, so that's short. But I mean,
no, do not bet that.
Yeah,
shop around though. There's still some that are FanDuel is moving quicker, but there's some that are lacking as far as movement. Shop around. I mean, there's probably $8 to $10 that have this stuff up. So that one I would say is good. If you can find something similar to 10-1, I think that's a good bet. Brendan Ayers in the chat. Any thoughts on Purdue under 3.5 wins? Early reports from camp suggest a capable starting quarterback isn't even on campus currently. I certainly lean that way, but I think what is it, like -200 at 3.5?
Yeah, I was just looking to see what the current price
and
was.
Barry Odom,
Yeah,
I've seen that guy in 2 years take. I mean, UNLV. I mean, had their best 2-year stretch in the history of the school. So I'm not big on fading him a lot, but obviously under 3.5. Yeah, minus 200. I mean, that's the play, but I'm not. Again, I'm not crazy making a lot of minus 200 plays on teams that look. These first year coaches, if you just blindly bet the under on all of them, I did some research on this since after the COVID 2020 season. So starting in 2021, there's about 100 coach sample size. I think you're like 57%. You're blindly betting the under. But 57% when you're laying minus 200 is not showing profit.
Right.
Be careful there, but that's the way I'd lean. I wish I had more on Purdue, but haven't watched their spring game yet. Looks like I'm not gonna be watching many spring games.
Okay. We buried the lead here. How is this affecting your process a little bit? Are you surprised that so many teams have gone to it? Do you surprised there's not like a mandation for these to be on? I'm a little I can't believe it's only 14.
I expected it to be less, but I thought it'd be a gradual decline, not just like all of a sudden 1 year I can watch any spring game I want as far as the Power 5, and then all of a sudden I can't watch any. So yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and be I'm super confident. No, I'm a little bit worried because for the last like 4 or 5 years I've been watching these damn things. And there's more roster turnover than ever. I've done a lot of roster work, and I tweeted this a couple months ago. I'm like, the average returning starters, I've been doing this 15 years, is like 12 or 13 guys, like clockwork every year. Average number of returning starters for a team is between 12 and 13. And this year it's 9. All of a sudden it's like way less than ever before. So, it's going to cause, I know I've made like 50 bets already, but I don't know how many more. I'm normally a guy who makes 300-400 bets before the season kicks off. I'm guessing that's number is going to be probably cut in half. That's going to be the impact.
And you know what? Because there's something like the tape doesn't lie, as you would say. Like you can watch a spring game and these beat reporters and the people that are around the team sometimes, and I'll use Michigan last year as a great example of, Alex Orji, what a QB guy. Like Davis Warren just took it from him. He was so good before, the end. Like after last year's Michigan's quarterback, camp reports, I was like, I've never trusted any of these report in the history of again. And it was the worst quarterback play in Michigan since 1902 or whatever. So, I agree. There's something about the spring games that you would at least see, even if it even was second team and stuff, you could see down the depth chart or some guys or a little bit. There was a lot of stuff that you couldn't just rely on reports and stuff to actually see with your eyes. And I only a couple series in that, but still, it was something.
Yes, it was greater than 0. And again, geez, man, you are coming out blazing. I couldn't agree more. I can't trust these beat reporters that are making 30-40 grand a year. I don't trust their football knowledge.
I feel like you almost have to it's not I don't want to call him a cheerleader, but you have to be pro team, to maintain your access, to kind of be what the people want to hear on the message boards and stuff. It's usually a lot of times the only stuff that I'll really take is if somebody's saying something negative or saying it in a way where it's offensive line, they're still gelling, something like that language is might be a problem here, that type of thing. Whereas a lot of times it's just Kool-Aid madness.
The worst, you brought Michigan, the worst beat writers last year as far as talking up a team, and couldn't have been more wrong, Florida State. Their fans got pissed. I know there was people canceling all their subscriptions to the 247 and all that because they were pissed. They were run amok. They were led to believe something that wasn't even close to what they saw. So that's what I'm going to miss, seeing it with my own eyes. Not that it was the end all, but my goodness, I don't know what that leads me to do. Does that mean I watch more tape from last season? I think it's just going to equal to me being a little bit more cautious when it comes to making bets.
Yeah.
And there's some reading
on this, some hashtag breaking news. Gio Lopez from South Alabama in the portal. My guess would be that he has a destination preordained.
Tennessee?
Maybe.
I like that move.
Maybe because that to me, if you're I will call it, a non-Power 5 quality player, and you've waited till this long and it's right before the portal opens,
Yep.
those are kind of the steps where it's like, someone came and poached you with an offer. So
Upgrade, downgrade, neutral off the top of your head from Nico if he goes to Tennessee. Maybe slight downgrade.
I want to say, I was going to say neutral.
Yeah.
Maybe slight downgrade. Some of these guys step up in class and it's a little tougher, but I think he can run that system. That same thing he did last year with a lot of like physical, like QB power type stuff. So
I didn't expect the portal to be that much. Did you? This go around?
No, I will. It does, like, if you want to talk strictly business and like shrewd business, is where when you go into the spring and now it's like, we were through our spring practices and we're basically, trying to be set for the year. Maybe we add a few guys here and there.
Yeah.
If you're a quarterback, usually you'd want to be a little bit better than Nico. But if you go and say, like, I'm going to leave if you don't, it's quite a, negotiating ploy here, because a lot of these teams are going to be like, I'm high and dry if you're taking one of like elite quarterback. Nico, I don't think fit that mold, but there'd be some guys who, like, if you're a certain programs where you don't have many options and you've got a great quarterback, like, some of them might just bulk up and give it to you.
I will say, from going through the rosters and what's coming back, oh my goodness, the G5 is decimated. Anybody that's worth you see this in college basketball. Yeah. Anybody that's worth a damn, they're out. They're going.
Yeah,
they're going to the Power 4.
And it's like, how could you blame? Because if you're at a G5,
I can't blame them. I'm not bitching about it. I feel bad for the
I agree. Where it's just like, boom, you have G5 is almost like now like your AAA league or something. Like, you have a good year, you put it on tape, and then it's like, I'm going to get paid now.
Yeah. And you can see some teams have built for it. They were going to be good. They were going to return 15, 16 starters. They were going to compete for the league title. And they got the 5-6 guys and they're gone. Rough. Charles Saul, speaking of players and quarterbacks, Lenora Sellers, Heisman. I'm not buying. I'm selling. Where are you at on that?
Just from a standpoint of, I don't think he's good enough. Like, to me, I don't think Lenora Sellers, the player, week to week, week in, week out, I don't think is a good enough player to win the Heisman. I don't think South Carolina can have that. If you told me he's on a team where, like, Lenora Sellers could be on a team that's going to go 11-1, 12-0, then maybe you give him more of a shot, especially at the price. Especially at the prices that are out there, that, I see if FanDuel has him 16. I mean, I would need a lot healthier price for me to want to get involved on him.
I'm selling South Carolina, if you catch my drift too. I don't like them this year. Again, that would be another spring game I'd like to watch, but they lost a lot of defense. I know they have a couple of the edge guys back, but some of the other guys, at least the freshmen's back. I just don't see it. Matt, heard Belichick's girlfriend might do a walking back segment soon. Thoughts, Knish?
I saw a video of her just like on the field, like in like dressed out, like,
What is going on there? I've heard Nico might go there. I mean, you and I did. The market seems to like this. I don't. I'm selling the Belichick year one, but I think there's some variance, obviously.
I was going to say definitely some part of me wants to kind of wait until the the bitter end here. And
that's another spring game I wish I could watch, right?
That is the one where you're like, I would of the spring games that I would almost half of it, yes, for see, the other half it's just like for a content perspective. See, that one hurts to not be around to see kind of where they're at as a pro. I tend to lean with you though. I know this show this is like our Colorado stand from years past of, like, I think we're going to be a lot more anti-UNC than probably the market and some of the other public shows around.
Even if they were to get a Nico, I don't like that. Like, what is that locker room? Like, I don't know. I'm not buying it. It's weird to me. That whole contract was weird to me. Mike,
because you're right. It's basically like he could have left after like 3 months.
That was. I don't know. Is he all in? You got to be all in college football anymore. I know.
I know. I'm with you. Like, you can't. it's a young man's game. It really, unless you're at like, I don't know, the MAC or something. Like these Power 4 games, like you're going from recruiting to portal to scheme to, all that. It's like to do that at his, and I know he's one of the greats, but it's a different.
One of the greats are, I was Team Belichick and the whole Brady Belichick for 15-year debate. I was Team Belichick until I wasn't.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So
I will say though, I mean, listen, at 70, pulling a 6-year-old girlfriend.
Oh yeah, thumbs up for that.
She seems into it, so good for him.
Mike in the chat, hearing Bryce Underwood struggling in practice. I know he's joking. I've heard opposite. Like, I think he might start.
There's a couple. Oh, Mikey Keene is hurt, and so he hasn't gotten any reps in spring practice.
Well, Bryce Underwood's starting then.
Yeah, so like to me, it's Underwood right now. I think he's going to have the whole spring to himself. Jaden Davis is getting some reps, but I don't think he's.
Are you going to that? That's next week, right?
You know what? I was just talking to a buddy. I actually might, because of like no television. I kind of want to. Yeah, I kind of want to see it.
If I was back home for another week, I think I'd be going. I think that's going to be. I'm going to have to go to a bunch of these games and really plan it out. At least try to
probably be like, as long as if the weather's nice, this will be like the most attended Michigan spring game of all time, because I think there's a lot of people that want to see, the golden child, me included.
Where you at on the Wolverines? Over 8.5?
I definitely
lean that way. I think 9-3 is the number.
I would lean that way. It's funny because that offensive line quote I had earlier was I was kind of stealing that from there's some concern. I'll put it like that.
Really?
Yeah, like they're the depth I think is a little concerned. I was surprised, and again, I think they didn't want to pay over for some offensive linemen in the portal, so they had a nice portal class, but they really didn't stock the O-line. They got one like All-American from Ferris coming in the fall and stuff, but I'm a little. I know they brought back Juan Castillo again as an analyst for their O-line, so I don't think it has the potential to be a great line by any means. I think passable is the best you can hope for, and then some improved quarterback play. But I think they'll be really good on defense again. Really good.
I agree. What about the wide receivers? He can't be any worse. But
I mean, McCauley. That's all signs are he's healthy. That will that'll be a nice upgrade there. A couple of the younger guys showing out, but again, same thing where the bar is so low at quarterback and wide receiver that and I think Chip Lindsey, again, they're saying we want to get explosive plays and all that, so we'll see what comes in. It's still going to be a bread and butter run team, but we'll need to see how much can the offense improve in year one. But yeah, I think all the Underwood stuff.
And Oklahoma game in week 2 would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. That's what I do think what'll help us this year is in week 1 and 2, there's a lot more marquee games where we'll have an idea of what these teams are quickly. Boy, last year felt like we waited weeks, and I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I'm sitting here in the middle of October. I don't know. So there's at least that. RW Fan 23, that's funny. Tailgate Tent, hate watching the show to see if any future is given out. Yeah, that's probably some truth to that. I was just talking to him earlier today. So we won't give out too much. Not like last year. Last year we were giving out a lot. So without the contract, I'm not giving out everything.
Tell Moretto, hey, listen, if Moretto's DM,
show me the money and I'll give stuff out. Until that shows, I mean, I'll have opinions, but best bets, nah. Gold Mine Sports, Auburn, 80-1 natty. Don't like it, but I am a little bit optimistic on Auburn this year. I like the wide receivers. I think Jackson Arnold got a bad rap at Oklahoma. They've been close. I don't like Hugh Freeze that much. I think he's a terrible human being. But I think they get over the hump a little bit this year. I did play their win total over.
Yeah, I was going to say I lean that that would be more of my agreement too, like a lean to the over on the win total. I think the Natty's asking a lot. It might be one of a playoff yes/no team. I know people want to do the sexy number 80-1 and all that. I would say best case scenario, if it comes together, is maybe like a 9-3 type of deal, or a 10-2 in a playoff berth. I don't know. I will, like, I did see Tent say this to kind of parlay, like, this might be the most wide open college football season in a long time. And you can see it just by the natty odds. I mean, when's the last season that there hasn't been a team 6-1 or lower as in like nobody,
years.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they're just, you're kind of in a year where you might have 12, maybe 12 is a little aggressive, but 10 teams.
I think there's 8 to 10. He
Yeah.
asked me that earlier today. He's like, "What's your top 5?" And normally, I got top 5 off the top of my head. It's this team, this team, this team, right in order. I already know the order. I'm like, man, I'm between 8 teams that they might be only 3 points difference. So I don't know. I mean, I got to watch these springs and do some reading. I could see any one of 8 or 10 teams winning it. So
Yep.
Trip in the chat. This is also some, relatively newer news, so to speak. Kent State, worst shape of any FBS program entering a season in the last 10 years. I mean, I don't disagree. I mean, it's bad. Last year's team was as bad as it gets as far as an FBS power rating for me.
Yep.
I mean, I would have had half the FCS over them. I mean, they would have been a bottom third FCS team in my power ratings. Lose their coach. Roster is gutted. They didn't have much of a roster to begin with. I mean, it's bad. Tough schedule again. What's the win total? I think it'd be one of the lowest win totals. I think 1.5 win total.
Yeah. Because they have FCS Merrimack to start, and
that's not a guarantee.
Tell you what, if they don't get that one, then I'm not sure. I'm not sure where 2's coming. Yeah, I don't. I mean, I gotta say, Kenny Burns. Yeah, like him getting fired for that now makes it. That's a bad look for a team that was already in the tank, and now that they're going to have to basically start over from the staff. I tell you, that's the investigation leading to him being fired for that is that's
I don't know what they ain't got nothing. I mean, I've been to the stadiums, and not that they're the end all, but it's by far the worst stadium. I mean, it's a dump. It's almost like an abandoned stadium. There's a bunch of birds and stuff living in it. It's like so noisy and stuff. It's like a cavern. I don't know. It's terrible.
It's like, I mean, I know they've been in the MAC for a long, like, I don't know how much Kent State, or like maybe they drop football or something at some point. I mean, I don't know what even in like the good years. I mean, when Sean Lewis was doing the flash fat, like those teams.
I don't think he got enough credit. Like him,
right? I agree. Like
getting them to 5 or 6 wins was miracle work.
Yeah, like that's kind of like like your absolute ceiling for a Kent State in this era now. So yeah, it's going to be a rough go of it.
William in the chat, BC take a second-year jump with Bill O'Brien and a stable quarterback room. I don't think so, honestly, because I thought he overachieved considerably last year. Could be a better. I'm looking at my power ratings. I don't know. I don't see them from a wins losses taking a big jump. I'm not saying that's a big, I got a big strong win total take on them, but I don't see them going from 9 to 10 wins. I don't think they got that in them this year.
Yeah, I'm with you. Kind of one of those where even, I'll say it like this, even if the team is better from a talent or a stunt, they might still not achieve the win-loss that they did last year, right? So it could be one of those things where just, some variance goes against you, or the schedule goes against you a little bit. You have a couple of close losses or one of those. It's hard, especially at a place like Boston College, where, again, I think Bob's a really good coach. But
I do too.
They do also, and it's one of those that they play a brand of football that kind of goes against a lot of what the rest of the conference does. And I love that, especially when it gets a little, like tough nose football. We're going to run the ball. We're going to go, to some of those schools in the ACC that don't exactly play that brand of football. So I like, again, I kind of like where their program's at. It's probably though, like, I'm not going to say at the ceiling, but Boston College just doesn't, they're never going to have the talent to kind of go that, get over the hump, I would say, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know. Can they go, do you think they have like, a 10-2, 11-1 in the?
Nah, I don't even think 9-3.
Yeah, I know. So That's
but
I guess
again, I would love to, that's a spring game I've been watching for the last 5 years. I'd love to watch it, but I ain't got it this year. So I wish I could get specific, but
here's
I
what.
just,
Okay,
go
let's say
ahead.
if they move the portal back, do we think maybe there's a chance spring games come back? Like if they move the portal up to like March or something or before spring practice, is there any way that like then when you're going into spring ball the portal's closed?
I just,
Or are
when they take something away, do they ever give it back usually? Just generally
no,
speaking in life.
no. I
Once
this
it's
is
gone,
like
it's gone.
yeah,
So
this is what we said about, hope you like the 12-team playoff because it's never going back to 2 or 4 or any of
no,
those.
it's
It's like
not. So
if anything, it's going to 16.
I'm just surprised it's dead after 1 year. Like, I mean, I tweeted it today. I mean, we went from 60 to 15 in 1 year. So
Yep.
I don't think it's coming back. But I don't know. Maybe there was some money. I thought there was some people watching it. I mean, we saw, you know, it was doing a couple of the ones were doing a little bit of TV ratings. So,
I
money
know.
talks.
That is the one decision where it's like
I also think locally, like just to can't, I get not airing it on TV, but to totally get away from it. I mean, we saw some schools go from Ohio State had 80,000 last year. They had
right.
40 this year. That has an impact on your community as far, that weekend. So I don't know. Hopefully they figure something out. Ken in the chat, really good AVS pick anytime. You can be opposite. Oh, okay. ATS
The
pick.
Mike Vivian fade, baby.
Yeah. Mike Vivian.
Hey, I agree. His bookie's been loving that fade for years. So
Yeah. John in the chat, what's better? South Carolina under 8.5 minus 160 at Caesars or under 7.5 plus 115 of MGM? Well, a full win is worth what, 140 cents, 150 cents?
yeah.
So 8.5 is good to go.
Yeah.
There. So shop around. There's still some books. They were one of them that even though there's a market out there, FanDuel's been up for months. They decided to come in with their own numbers, and let's just say OBP. You don't have to be the sharpest tool in the shed to see, hey, we've got a market up for 2 months, and all of a sudden, another book comes in with all new numbers that are off like a win. You're going to give me that. I'm going to bet it. So we bet quite a few of those. Anything else? I thought it was a pretty good show.
Yeah,
I'm looking,
getting back into it, baby. Feel good to.
Yeah, I mean, we want to give out. I mean, I thought we gave out enough information. We don't have to have a best bet. We got Joey Pucks. I told you what I bet. So, any other things? I don't know. We don't have to go too much longer.
No, it's a good little appetizer here to get the spring start. I will say that's the other thing from the spring game, like from a summer content, not being able to review some of the spring games is I know that was big on us last year. What's the stadium tour plan this year? The BP Travels.
You know what? I don't know because the big travel is going to be moving back to Ohio in a month, so that's a pretty long trip there. So I don't know how much. I'm no joke. I have never, even though I've lived, back in Ohio for 30 years, I never did Upper Michigan, whether it's UP or the lower part. I've never done it, and I just go snowmobiling up there, but I've never done it in the summer. So I haven't seen Western Michigan, Central Michigan, but more importantly, I want to see Traverse City. I want to see Mackinac Island. I want to drive through the UP, come down through, maybe do a little bit of Lambeau Field there. So I might do something like that. So I'll be in your neck of the woods.
There you go.
I say that now, and you'll see me probably in July. I'll be like doing 20 stadiums in the South or something. I'll be bored.
So are you driving all your stuff back from Vegas?
Yeah, I'm having a company move for me, and then I'm just driving just me. So yeah, that'll be fun, I guess. I don't know. I'm excited though. I'm out in the middle of nowhere. I'm in farm country. Just visited this weekend. I was back your way. Exciting times. It's
there you go.
Vegas. I know it's not Vegas, but I'm a little tired of the people in Vegas. So there's that. I got nothing else, man. You got any you want to put any plugs in for your new show? How's that going with Nadu and everybody?
On Matt, hashtag. I know. You know what? We might have to have like a 4-way sit down with your guy Bosco and my guy Nadu here.
I don't think they're gonna sit down. I can tell you that.
I don't think. Yeah. So no, it's good. Yeah, circle back the A team. We'll have an episode out again, another one this Flup out this week. We have a new special third panel member this week. So no Flup. We'll have another Hammer friend of the show in this week. So
I look forward to that. What's been the big drama this week?
I thought
it was pretty quiet, although there was a lot of Masters experts yesterday on the timeline. Oh my God.
We'll talk a little Masters, and we'll have a little kind of I think breakdown of, I got to see what's going on, and a couple NFL draft things out there.
The shot of a lifetime. The lifetime. How many lifetimes this guy's got? That was a little much for me yesterday. All right. Got nothing else. This is a good show. I don't know when we'll be back. Again, we have not signed a contract yet, so I'm not too anxious to do everyday shows. So nor is probably Tailgate 10, us giving out a bunch of info, but fun doing it. Thank you to the chat. Thank you to the super chat. Sean Higgs, shout out again. That'll do it. We did an hour. I think that should, quench a lot of guys' thirst. Sorry, not much draft stuff. You guys didn't ask a lot. I mean, it's just a tough market, but for the man, the myth, the legend himself, Joey Knish, I'm merely Brad Powers. Once our producer shapes up, we'll name his name. But until then, you just watch Hit the Books, part of the Hammer Betting Network, sponsored by FanDuel. See you next time.